the only way to survive this at this point and have all those mantra pieces in place are by coming together in local community. So you go to where you can meet your local food purveyors or food growers, and you create relationship with them. You go to the local community gardens and you get to meet like-minded people, and everybody brings what they have to share. Everybody does. And then you can survive this. And when the government, with their finger on the CBDC says, nope, you go, don't care, doesn't matter to me, I can get through this. The problem is I believe we are definitely running out of time. And you brought up the central banks to begin with, where we used to see them move forward in a coordinated manner. That's not happening anymore. There's a decoupling in there. And yet the financial system is incestuously intertwined. So I could be wrong, but I am 100% certain, I'll go 99.9%, okay, just in case I'm wrong, that we are very close to the collapse and then the reset. And part of the other reason why I say that is looking at the monetary velocity chart and how that has just been on a major downward spiral since 97, but now it's on a definitely major spike up. And so to me, that's an indication that the money is changing hands quickly because of the loss of trust in the currency and in the system that's growing. I've been doing this for decades, and frankly, I had time to do it for decades. And so really, you need to be as independent and self-sufficient as possible. It's that simple. So how can you do that? Food, water, energy, security, barterability, which is silver for me, wealth preservation, which is actually gold for me, community, which has arguably become the most important issue for me, and shelter, because all of these things are what we need to be able to say no, right? Because you're independent and self-sufficient. But George, the reason why, and you've been to my farm, and so you've seen what I've done food-wise, water-wise, energy-wise, all those other pieces, but we just don't have the luxury of time. I bought this property in 2010 when I saw what happened in 2008. I mean, the great financial crisis, 100% I knew the system had died at that point. And I also knew that food becomes the single biggest issue for people. And I mean, really, look at me. Do I look like a farmer? I went through a lot to build this incredible community that I'm really anxious for you to meet too, because I think I've got the best community and the highest quality people around me. But yes, I started that by buying a piece of property, half an acre in dead central Phoenix, and planting all of it out, most importantly, perhaps, on the exterior of the property, because people that are hungry and hopeless make choices they would not otherwise make. And so if they know they can pass and pick a pomegranate or a zucchini or whatever and feed their family, then hopefully they won't be that, they won't have that kind of mindset and destroy things.
The problem is that we are running out of time. The central banks, which once moved in a coordinated manner, are now decoupling. The financial system is intricately intertwined, and yet it's showing signs of breaking apart. I'm almost entirely sure, let's say 99.9%, that we are nearing a collapse followed by a reset. One of the indicators of this impending collapse is the monetary velocity chart. Since 1997, it has been on a steep downward trajectory, but recently it has spiked upward. This indicates that money is changing hands quickly due to a growing loss of trust in the current system and its currency. When people lose faith in the currency, they start moving their money around more quickly, which is what we are seeing now. I've been involved in this field for decades, and I've had the luxury of time to prepare. But now it's crucial for everyone to become as independent and self-sufficient as possible. This means ensuring you have food, water, energy, security, barterability, silver, wealth preservation, gold, community, and shelter. These are the essentials for survival and the ability to say no when faced with pressures from external forces. You've seen what I've done on my farm: food, water, energy. All those pieces are in place. I started in 2010 after witnessing the great financial crisis of 2008. I knew then that the system had died and that food would become the single biggest issue for people. So I bought a piece of property in central Phoenix and planted it out, especially on the exterior, to help those in need. If people can pick a pomegranate or a zucchini to feed their families, they are less likely to make desperate choices. We must look at where we are most vulnerable and work on those areas one step at a time. Start with the basics and build from there. We are definitely running out of time. The decoupling of central banks and the intertwined financial system point to a near-future collapse. The monetary velocity chart shows money changing hands rapidly because trust in the currency and the system is eroding. This is evident from big retailers like Walmart, Costco, and Amazon selling gold and silver coins. People are becoming more aware and want to act. The only way to survive this impending collapse is by building local and global communities. Connect with local food purveyors and community gardens. Share resources and build relationships. When the government controls digital currencies, those who are independent and self-sufficient can withstand these pressures. We must also come together globally and create a quiet revolution where we vote with our wallets. In a consumer-based economy, buying physical gold and silver is a form of protest. It's private, out of the system, and represents sound money. If enough people do this, we might secure a place at the table in the new currency and monetary system.
George, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So you look at all of these different pieces and you see, where am I the most vulnerable? And then you go and you work in that area and you get less vulnerable. Then you go on to the next one, the next one, the next one. The problem is I believe we are definitely running out of time. And you brought up the central banks to begin with, where we used to see them move forward in a coordinated manner. That's not happening anymore. There's a decoupling in there. And yet the financial system is incestuously intertwined. So I could be wrong, but I am 100% certain. I'll go 99.9%. Okay, just in case I'm wrong. That we are very close to the collapse and then the reset. And part of the other reason why I say that is looking at the monetary velocity chart and how that has just been on a major downward spiral since 97, but now it's on a definitely major spike up. And so to me, that's an indication that the money is changing hands quickly because of the loss of trust in the currency and in the system that's growing. Walmart and Costco and Amazon sell gold and silver coins to the public. What does that tell you? There's demand. People are becoming more aware and they want to do something about it. But I believe, George, that the only way to survive this at this point and have all those mantra pieces in place are by coming together in local community. So you go to where you can meet your local food purveyors or food growers and you create relationship with them. You go to the local community gardens and you get to meet like-minded people, and everybody brings what they have to share. Everybody does. And then you can survive this. And when the government, with their finger on the CBDC says, nope, you go, don't care, doesn't matter to me, I can get through this. But I also think that it is equally, if not more important, that we come together in a global community and we create a quiet revolution where we vote with our wallets, because this is a consumer-based economy. And you know how you do that? You buy physical gold and silver that is private and out of the system. You buy sound money. And if enough people do that, maybe we have a shot at a seat at the table on the new currency and monetary system. I don't know, but I'm going to try. So you see why my mantra developed the way that it did, because I knew this, having studied currency life cycles. This is what you see, and that's why I constantly say you must be as independent and self-sufficient as possible, so that if the government or the central bank say jump, you don't have to say how high. If everything you have, and you can't really eat gold and silver, you can convert it, but to your point, it depends on where you are in the trend cycle and if you're surrounded by the community, and that's why you need all of those other pieces.
The urgency of our current financial situation cannot be overstated. The decoupling of central banks and the intricacies of our intertwined financial system signal a forthcoming collapse and reset. We've seen the downward spiral of the monetary velocity chart since 1997, which now spikes upward, indicating a rapid change in money flow due to diminishing trust in the currency and the financial system. I have been in this industry for decades, preparing myself and my community for this moment. The key to survival is independence and self-sufficiency. Focus on essentials like food, water, energy, security, barterability, silver, wealth preservation, gold, community, and shelter. These are the pillars of resilience. In 2010, I bought a piece of property after witnessing the 2008 financial crisis. I knew then that the system was broken and that food would be a critical issue. So, I transformed a half-acre in central Phoenix into a thriving garden. My goal was to create a community where people could access food without resorting to desperate measures. We must identify our vulnerabilities and address them methodically. The clock is ticking. The once coordinated actions of central banks are now fragmented, and the financial system is on shaky ground. The rapid change in money flow, as seen in the monetary velocity chart, is a clear indication of the growing distrust in the current system. People are becoming more aware, as evidenced by big retailers like Walmart, Costco, and Amazon selling gold and silver coins. There is a demand for these tangible assets because people want to protect themselves. The only way to navigate this crisis is by building strong local and global communities. Engage with local food growers and community gardens. Share resources and build relationships. When the government tightens control over digital currencies, those who are self-sufficient will be less affected. Globally, we need a quiet revolution where we vote with our wallets. By buying physical gold and silver, we participate in a form of protest. These metals are private, out of the system, and represent sound money. If enough people join this movement, we can influence the formation of a new currency and monetary system. The financial system is teetering on the edge, and the value of gold and silver has never been more apparent. These metals are not just investments, they are lifelines. They offer protection and stability in a world where fiat currencies are losing their value. Central banks understand this. They have been accumulating gold for years, anticipating a shift in the financial landscape. The average investor, however, remains unaware. If more people understood the importance of gold and silver, demand would skyrocket and supply would diminish rapidly. The reclassification of gold as a Tier 1 asset by the BIS in 2019 was a significant move. It recognized gold's unparalleled value in a world increasingly wary of fiat currencies. This shift is not just about financial returns, it's about preserving wealth and ensuring financial security. Interest rates have been artificially suppressed for decades, creating an illusion of prosperity. As rates rise, the true value of assets like real estate and bonds will be revealed. The Russell 2000 index, which includes a broad range of stocks, shows a more accurate picture of the economy. It's struggling, and this reflects the broader economic challenges we face. Knowledgeable investors and central banks are moving towards commodities, recognizing their intrinsic value. The general public, however, remains focused on traditional assets. This divergence will become more apparent as the financial system evolves. Repatriation of gold by central banks is another critical trend. European banks began bringing their gold home in 2017, followed by significant purchases. These actions were part of a strategic repositioning in anticipation of financial turbulence. Western media's failure to report these trends leaves the public uninformed. Many well-read individuals are simply reading the wrong sources and will be caught off guard when the system shifts. In conclusion, gold and silver are not just about immediate returns. They are about preserving wealth and providing financial security. They offer a hedge against volatility and instability. By holding these metals, you are making a statement about your financial independence and foresight. For our American and allied viewers, recognizing the strategic importance of gold and silver is crucial. These metals provide a safeguard against economic instability and offer a hedge against inflation and currency devaluation. Investing in gold and silver is not only about protecting your wealth, but also about ensuring your financial sovereignty. In an increasingly uncertain world, these tangible assets offer security and stability, allowing you to weather economic storms and preserve your purchasing power. As global financial dynamics shift, holding gold and silver will become increasingly important in maintaining financial independence and resilience. If you want to stay most up-to-date on the silver and gold markets, make sure to subscribe to my daily 5-minute silver and gold newsletter. It provides the latest expert insights, breaking news, market trends, and investment strategies, all in a concise format. Click the first link in the description to join thousands of others and enhance your investment knowledge right now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps me stay motivated to bring more valuable content to you. See you in the next video.